The air snapped against Jack's cheeks with the sharpness of early autumn, each breath tasting of the promise of winter's approach. Leaves, brittle and copper-tinted, scuttled across the cracked pavement, twirling as if caught in their own private dance. Before him stood Hope Haven Animal Rescue, its sign weathered but still bold against the small building's worn facade. Jack lingered for a heartbeat, the weight of years in an old army jacket, anchoring his broad shoulders. Then, hands buried deep in his pockets, he stepped inside. Warmth wrapped around him in a blast of bleach and damp fur. Echoes of barking filled the narrow corridor as a young staff member appeared, clipboard in hand. Can I help you, sir? She asked. Jack shook his head, voice lost beneath the chorus of eager paws and pleading eyes. She pointed toward the kennels, offering a gentle take your time. And so he did, moving as if underwater, thoughtful, deliberate, while excited dogs danced at their gates. A beagle's sharp bark, a golden retriever's pleading whine, none registered with Jack. Jack. His gaze was far away, fixed on memories only he could see. At the end of the line of cages, in a shadowed corner, Jack halted. Amid the chorus stood one silent figure, a large German shepherd whose coat had lost its luster, fur patchy and thin. One hind leg trembled, its battle-scarred tendons stiff with age. Ears lay low, eyes fixed on the cold concrete floor, until Jack drew near. At that moment, the dog lifted his head with effort, gaze sharp and tired as it met Jack's. A soft bark slipped free, not frantic, but a gentle note of recognition. Jack's breath caught. He knelt on one knee, the shelter's noise falling away to a distant hum. No words were exchanged, yet everything was said. Two veterans, man and dog, stood broken by time and trials, abandoned at the edges of their usefulness. A staff member cleared her throat, breaking the reverie. That's Rex, she said quietly. He's about 9, retired from 9 search and rescue. Injured on duty, recovered, but not completely. He's been here a while. No one wants an old wounded dog. Jack's eyes remained locked on Rex's wounded limb. May I walk him? He asked. She smiled and fetched the leash. With slow dignity, Rex rose. His gait was laboured, each step a reminder of old pain. A reminder of old pain. Jack clipped the leash to his collar, and together they moved into the shelter yard, side by side. It felt natural, like muscles, remembering long unused movements. Jack gave a soft hand signal. Rex responded without hesitation. A small tug at the corners of Jack's mouth betrayed a spark of something he hadn't felt in years. Moments later, Jack announced, "I'll take him home." The staff member blinked in surprise. "He's got challenges." Jack's voice was gentle but firm. "And neither of us is looking for easy." Rex clambered into the passenger seat of Jack's truck as though it had always been his spot. Jack glanced over. "Ready, partner?" he murmured. A low chuff answered him, and they drove away without a backward look. Jack's cabin lay nestled against the edge of pine woods, its windows dark until Rex's arrival brought life to every corner. The dog limped through each room, sniffing every nook as Jack watched, offering space and warmth. Mornings became their ritual, quiet walks along winding trails where mist curled around tree trunks and moss cushioned their footsteps. Rex's limp was still there, but less pronounced, fueled by purpose. Evenings were for the hearth. Jack cooking stew and Rex eating with grateful snaps of his jaws. As the fire crackled, Jack spoke softly of a wife lost to memories, of wars that never truly end. Rex listened, head on paws, no judgment in his gaze. One afternoon, Jack tested an old command. A sit. Instantly, Rex obeyed. Aid. A genuine smile crept across Jack's face, proof that they were more than dog and own owner. They were brothers in arms, once again. He rigged an agility course in the backyard, guiding Rex through gentle jumps and slaloms. They were soldier and 9, partner and partner, rediscovering routines that gave them both a reason to wake each day. But at night, shadows crept into Jack's dreams. One dark hour, he jolted upright, drenched in sweat, gasping for air as he knocked over a lamp. Rex was there before thought, pressing his head against Jack's leg, anchoring him. Jack sank to the floor, clutching Rex's thick neck, and wept, not for the fallen, but for years spent believing nobody could truly see him. Rex stayed immovable, his steadfast presence breaking open Jack's lonely armor. Spring arrived, in soft drizzles. One morning, under a veil of damp hair and pine needles, Jack and Rex strolled their familiar path. Rex's ears flicked at distant bird songs. His gait was steadier, though still mindful of his injury. They moved in comfortable silence, two souls relearning how to live. But fate hid a trap beneath a tapestry of leaves. Jack stepped over a mossy log. The earth gave away, plunging him into a hidden den. He hit the ground with a sickening crack, pain flaring through his shin, so fierce he could barely breathe. "Damn it!" he hissed, realizing the bone was surely broken. His bone lay useless in his pocket. Around him, the woods held their breath. Rex appeared at the rim, whining, pacing tight circles. Jack forced his voice clear. "Get help!" The dog hesitated as if weighing loyalty against instinct. Then, with a single look of resolve, he bolted into the thicket. Each stride was agony, old tendons screaming with every step. But Rex pressed on, guided by a duty deeper than pain. Half an hour later, muddy and panting, Rex reached the clearing by Jack's cabin. No answer. He raced onto a neighbour's porch, 2 lots down, and barked until a woman appeared. Desperate, he led her back through the woods, barking to mark the path. Soon, a small search party gathered at the edge of the pit. Jack's voice drifted weakly. Down here, within minutes, MT arrived, lifting Jack onto a stretcher and splinting his leg. Rex stood guard, tail drooping in relief and fatigue. As they loaded Jack into the ambulance, he reached down, stroking Rex's head. "You did it," he whispered. Leeks nudged his hand with gentle insistence, then laid his head on the gurney's edge. Word of the German shepherd, who braved the woods alone to save his veteran, spread fast. EMT shook their heads in wonder. "He's not just a good dog, he's a legend." Local papers ran photos of Jack's hospital bed, Rex curled loyally at his side. Veterans saluted as the duo were honoured in a small ceremony, Rex receiving a custom service vest and a medal inscribed Egg Companion of Honour. Amid the applause, Rex did what he'd done best. Stayed by Jack's side, silent and humble. Life settled into a new rhythm. Each sunrise, Jack clipped a worn leash onto Rex's collar, and they walked to the wood's edge. Frail now, Rex moved with effort, yet ears perked at Jack's voice. Neighbours waved, children, now older, smiled as they passed. Evenings found them by the fire, Jack in his old rocker, Rex at his boots, the same positions they had claimed from the moment they met. Then, one night past midnight, Rex's old instincts flared. A sharp, glass-like noise shattered the hush. He rose stiffly, padding to the window and growling low. When he barked again, Jack leapt awake. Across the street, motion lights revealed an intruder fleeing a neighbour's yard. Rex erupted into furious alarms, waking the block. Neighbours rushed out, captured the figure, and called police. Jack stood on the porch, heart hammering. He murmured. Rex sat beside him, steady and alert. "I felt you," Jack told him, hand finding his muzzle in the night. The papers gave Rex another headline, "A Guardian of the Block." Children drew capes on his portrait. Someone nailed a wooden sign to Jack's fence, "Protected by Rex, Hero Hound." Hero Hound. Yet Rex remained unchanged, quiet, ever watchful, tail thumping at Jack's soft praise. "You've done more for this town than most men I served with." And Rex leaned into that hand, satisfied. Winter returned with its cold hush, but Jack and Rex were unbothered. Their days followed simple, sacred steps, morning walks, gentle commands, shared warmth by the hearth. But one frosty dawn, Jack found Rex unresponsive by the oak tree, his favourite spot. Gently, Jack knelt and laid a hand across Rex's still body. No words, only a quiet ache. Later, Jack dug a grave beneath the oak, wrapped Rex in his blanket, and laid him to rest with collar and tag at his side. He placed a wooden marker above the earth and whispered, "You didn't just save me, you gave me a reason to live." As snowflakes drifted down, Jack turned homeward, grief and love entwined in every step. Weeks passed in hushed reflection until one early spring morning the door creaked. A familiar face from the shelter stood there, cradling a trembling puppy with floppy ears and oversized paws. "Iwi thought maybe," she said. The pup's uncertain eyes met Jack's, tail giving a hopeful wag. Jack reached out. The puppy licked his hand. He smiled softly. "You've got big paws to fill, kid." Cradling the pup, Jack stepped onto the porch, sunrise painting the sky behind him. Beneath the oak tree, leaves stirred in a gentle breeze, as if whispering a farewell that was really a promise. Love never truly leaves. It simply finds new ways to return.